England skipper David Gow won the toss and invited Australia to bat. It was a decision that would haunt him. After losing Marsh and Boone cheaply, Taylor and Border set about building a century stand.
That's a great shot from Alan Border. Might be a 6 off a square cut. Great shot again. This will get Border going. Good shot. That's when Border's really playing well, when he gets that full shot.
Mark Taylor was making his maiden Test appearance in England. It was one he'll treasure.
Deflection's fine, racing away towards the boundary, wait for the call. 4 runs, and that's 100. Well played, Mark Taylor, the red glance, bringing up the hundreds. A wonderful
For England, the onslaught continued. Dean Jones in blazing form.
Crashed one bounce into the pavilion.
And then came Steve Waugh. 177 not out in a classic innings that shattered the English morale.
That takes him to one short of the half-century. And there's the 50. What a great way to bring it up.
Into the gap it goes, and that's 150 for Stephen Waugh. A tremendous innings, a quick time innings, an innings made when it really mattered.
The big moustache, Merv Hughes, was a more than capable partner, clubbing 71.
He's pulled that away for 4 runs.
Border declared at 7 for 601, and Alderman made an immediate breakthrough.
That's pretty close. Yes, he's given him. Umpire Shepherd has got the finger up. And that's
perhaps the ball of the series.
Oh, and the big appeal as Merv Hughes goes right through Chris Broad with the leg break.
Alan Lamb stepped in with a timely century, his 9th in Test cricket.
It's nicely timed. That beats Jones. Beautifully timed. That's going to be 4. Oh, shot. Great shot. Oh, beauty. Ripped that through square leg. It's down to Lawson, and it's wide of him. It's a big hit. Crunch. That's it. What a way to bring up. What a 100. A superb 100. The crowd is standing to a man.
Alderman and Lawson cleaned up the tail. England all out for 430. Alderman finishing with 5, Lawson 3. The Australians went after quick runs in the second innings, Taylor making 60 to cap a fine match.
50 to Mark Taylor.
And then Jones and skipper Border added a whirlwind 101. With another declaration, Border had set England 403 from a minimum 83 overs. The innings started disastrously.
Close, that's got him, yes, he's come.
Again, it was Alderman who was magnificent.
Oh, okay, got him, he's gone, yes, he's out. Tried a good piece of bowling.
After only 55 overs, Merv Hughes was bowling to defrate us.
And he's bowled him, so Merv Hughes finishes off the Test match, and Australia have had a terrific victory here at Headingley.
Victory for Australia by 210 runs. Mark Taylor the hero for Australia with the bat, Lamb his country's great hope. But in the end, it would be Terry Alderman who swung the game Australia's way. Batting hero Merv Hughes grabbed the ball at Lord's on the opening day of the second Test and shattered the England first innings. Former skipper Mike Gatting hadn't scored.
Here it goes, he's gone, yes, he's out.
David Gow had looked composed until he faced Lawson on 57. Despite some gritty resistance from Jack Russell, who scored 64, England's innings was in disarray with Big Merv doing the mopping up. Chasing 286, Australia started badly when it lost Marsh for 3.
Edged well taken by Jack Russell.
Once again, however, the Aussies' top order did the job.
Beautiful shot.
Taylor made 62 before falling to Foster. Boone was superb.
Oh, David Boone in great touch.
He made 94 and looked on his way to a certain 100 at the home of cricket when he fell to Dili.
They've just lost one. David Boone is gone.
Enter Steve Waugh.
The left fielder. And he's done it again. The outfield is fast here, but that's a cracking shot.
There it is. Goes Smith is getting there, throws the stumps, he's home. Well played, Stephen Waugh, an overthrow, so Waugh goes to 101.
With Geoff Lawson, the pair would blast 130 for the 9th wicket.
That's a fine shot. It's in the air. But bounces safely into the pavilion fence.
Have done this and he's done it. There it goes, down to mid-on. One to Stephen Waugh. That brings up his 150.
Embury cleaned up the Australian tail and England started its second innings trailing by 242. It was the same old story with Terry Alderman in the starring role.
Big shout, he's out! One for none! Terry Alderman gets Gooch. Coming forward. The bowler got him! Off the pad, that pad, he's out, yes he is! Good catch, good captaincy, superb bowling.
Waugh was again the mainstay of the England innings. Despite the off-field turmoil that was building about his leadership, his batting was nothing but spectacular.
That's a good shot. Square on the offside for 4. He's just a little short at the moment, Board, and that takes him on to 99. And he's through for it.
That's the way to answer the critics. David Waugh makes his 15th Test match century.
Alderman would finish with 6 wickets, leaving Australia just on 20 overs to make 118 runs for victory. It wasn't such an easy task. Marsh on 1. Border faced Foster on 1.
He's got him. Good piece of catching by the young man.
And then Jones went for a duck.
Hooks in the air. Wicketkeeper's going to get this. He's gone.
The unstoppable Waugh, though, joined Boone to help Australia to victory.
Victory for Australia, well played by 6 wickets. The second Test match at Waugh. Stephen Waugh.
Another big start for Australia with a 500 runs plus first innings and then some great bowling by Alderman. For the 9th time this century, Australia successful at Lord's. The margin, 6 wickets. The toss went Australia's way and Marsh and Taylor made the most of it.
That's gone. 4 more.
But it was Dean Jones who produced the performance of the third Test with a knock of 157.
Stylishly, Dilly stops it. There it is, between his legs.
Steve Waugh joined the Victorian and the onslaught continued.
Great shot.
And outside leg stump, and that's bread and butter for Dean Jones for 4 runs.
Away from the dive of Tim Curtis, and that should be a boundary. Jarvis coming from deep fine leg knows it.
He liked that. Would that be his 100? Embury's after it. He got his boot to it. They've gone for 2. And that's the 100 for Dean Jones.
Despite rain delays, Australia virtually tied up the match, scoring 424.
Away from the diving Barnett. Fine hit by Dean Jones.
In reply, England lost 5 wickets before posting 100 runs.
Must be very close. He's out. Breakthrough for Geoff Lawson in Australia. Gooch is plumb.
While Tim Curtis stood firm, his teammates were leaving in rapid succession.
He's out. No shot. The Clayton stroke.
Shattered by the loss of Foster, Lamb, Smith and Gatting, the makeshift England side had no answers to the Australian attack.
Caught. He's out.
All out for 242, and having saved the follow-on, the Englishmen were content to give the Australians some batting practice.
That's the 50 for Taylor.
Taylor making the most of it with another half-century.
The match is finished in a draw. A very friendly finish to the game.
Dean Jones provided the highlight of the Test with his 157, Marsh and Taylor making the second innings runs in a partnership of 81. The match, ruined by rain, was drawn. A new wicket, good conditions and the correct call gave Gow's men first use of the Old Trafford track, but Geoff Lawson proved England's undoing.
And he's got him right through his defence. Hit the pad, I would say, on the way through. And
Robinson hadn't scored.
And it's gone.
Robin Smith stepped in with one of the innings of the series.
It's beautifully played. He hit that with tremendous timing. Fraction short. And he's put it away in fine fashion just in front of square for 4.
Smith perfectly happy to put those away. That's a beautiful shot. Beautifully hit. And that's a shot that he's played extremely well throughout his innings. and that's a very good first Test 100 to Robin Smith.
143 runs on the board. He faced Big Merv.
Well, he struck that down. He could be out. He's under it. He's gone. Caught a third man.
The Australians once again had a modest first innings tally of 260 to chase, and Taylor was the man for the job.
Beautiful square drive off the back foot, brings 4 more.
There's 50 for Mark Taylor. Mark Taylor having a tremendous series. That's his 5th half-century.
An opening stand of 135 was interrupted when Marsh faced Botham.
Got him. Great piece of work. Caught behind down the leg side.
Board had drafted for more than 5 hours on the way to 80.
And it's 4 runs straight down the ground. A good partnership starting here between Border and Jones. It's 3 for 175.
That's a superb shot. And that's 6 runs.
The Australian innings was growing quickly. Jones and then Waugh doing the damage.
That is a shot of a man in superb form. That's a cracking shot.
On the way to his 3rd ton in 4 matches, Waugh was on 92.
It's a good bouncer from Angus Fraser, and he's been rewarded with Steve Waugh's wicket.
England's second innings was a shambles, thanks to Alderman and Geoff Lawson.
Well caught by David Boone. Pushing forward.
Edged and straight to first slip. Terry Alderman hangs on to that one.
It's gone. What a catch. Magnificent catch by Marsh.
The mainstay was again keeper Jack Russell. His 128 and a partnership of 142 with Embury at least helped England present some resistance.
And there it is. A superb, well-deserved century, Jack Russell.
Alderman removed Embury and then Foster for yet another 5-wicket haul.
Terry Alderman has done it again.
Needing 78 for victory and to regain the Ashes in England for the first time since 1934, Taylor and Boone did it in style.
Boone sweeps and victory for Australia by 9 wickets, 4 runs to David Boone. He moves to 10. Alan Border and his teammates stand to attention to clap. Taylor and Boone.
Lawson's 6 wickets, his first big haul in 11 tests. Russell's 100, his first in first-class cricket. But the 9-wicket win had decided the series.
Underneath the Southern Cross I stand, a sprig of wattle in my hand, a native of my native land, Australia, you beauty!
Beautifully driven, fine shot.
The greatest opening partnership in Ashes cricket history reduced England's morale to tatters. On the first day of this 5th test, the England side that had been shattered by the news of the South African defections watched helplessly as Marsh and Taylor batted for 3 sessions.
Beautiful shot, superb drive up the back foot. Mark Taylor, a touch of class. Mark Taylor scoring his 2nd 100, beautiful innings.
There it is. On this one.
Relief for Mrs. Marsh, she's very happy. Geoff Marsh putting an end to all the critics who said that he's...
Bad ball from Eddie Hemmings, and that's a 300. Well done, boys.
When Marsh fell at 138, the pair had added 329 runs.
And Marsh has gone.
Taylor carried on with Boone, the pair adding 111 for the second. Taylor would go on and reach 200, his first double ton at any level.
There it is. 200 and 700 runs in the series, 4 runs, 24s for Mark Taylor.
As Australia pushed towards 600, there was one unusual moment. Waugh faced Malcolm. He hadn't opened his account.
Behind the duck, chipping that to Gower. He looked very nervous, did Stephen Waugh. He knew...
After declaring at 6 for 602, Gower then watched in horror as his top-order batsman collapsed.
And that's out. He's gone. Caught it, second slip. He's gone.
Umpire, please, raises the finger. Atherton's.
Oh, how's that? Yes. That was very low, and Nigel...
Robin Smith would prove the only worry, and his century contained 16 fours.
That's probably the best shot played in this England innings.
Thump that. And pop that. You want to bounce me? Pop that, pal.
That's going to be 4 more. What a glorious stroke player this young man is. It's a loose ball. It's always 4. He goes for it. There it is, a magnificent 100. Stand up, England. One of the all-time great 100s.
And a big shout there. He's done the job. He's got rid of Robin Smith.
All out for 255, and with the follow-on in force, England's second innings was even worse than its first.
Oh, that's bowled him, clean bowled him. Didn't offer a shot. Great delivery from Geoff Lawson and David.
Close, big shout. Just a fraction. He's got him, yes. Not going forward, Curtis.
Good ball. I think spare about that one. That was a great delivery.
Oh, right through him. That one stayed down and hit off.
Clean bowled him. That one's kept down a little bit, but straight through him.
Alderman and Lawson doing the early damage, and then Merv Hughes chipped in with 3 telling wickets.
Well bowled, Merv. That's a very good Yorker to get rid of Devon Malcolm. Nick Cook turns around.
Marsh and Taylor set up the Australian win, but received magnificent support from Alderman in the first innings and all 4 bowlers used in the second as their team moved 4-0. Only Bradman's 1948 team had won 4 tests in England. In late August, the Australians were looking for their 5th, and once again they got away to a magical start. Taylor moved closer to the 800-run mark for the series. He was on 71 when he faced Iggleston.
That's got him. He's gone.
Border 2 past the half-century mark. The 100, though, would elude him.
Starting in very aggressive fashion.
For Dean Jones, however, the Oval Test will be a superb memory. His shot-making was dazzling and enabled his team to build a first innings of 468.
And that brings up his 50. He's in rare touches, Dean Jones, and it's good to see.
Just clears Stevenson at mid-on. It was extremely well hit.
He's got it. Well played, Dean Jones.
It was the same old story, however.
Oh, and that's got to be very close, yes.
The English batsmen had no answer to the Alderman line or length. One after another, they fell to the bowler of the series.
Taken at second slip. And he's gone. Ken Palmer has given Capel out LBW.
That's good delivery's done. Caught behind. Beautifully bowled. Moving back.
When Pringle was out at 201 to Trevor Hones, England's hopes of avoiding the follow-on looked slim. 67 to score, 2 wickets left. Gladstone Small came to the rescue. His 59 saved England from further humiliation.
The reception is getting. You might think the match has been won.
Border looked for quick runs in the Australian second innings, and his partnership of 88 with Jones gave England a second innings chase of 403 for victory. 5 wickets did fall, but not the vital wicket of Smith, who was still there at the end when the captains agreed that no result was likely. The 6th test ended in a draw. Jones the key with the bat, Alderman the star with the ball.